Before sunrise, the rainforest is already awake beneath a veil of mist. High above the canopy, scarlet macaws wait for the first usable light. For this bonded pair, the day begins side by side. Up close, every detail is shaped for life, high in the canopy. A few quiet adjustments come before the first flight of the day. Then, with powerful wing beats, they leave the roost behind. Above the canopy, long tails steady each small change of direction. Their morning route leads toward trees carrying a new supply of fruit. The bill opens tough fruit, while the feet hold it firmly in place. Feet and bill work together, turning a difficult meal with precise control. Near the river, another part of their routine begins with caution. They descend only when the bank seems quiet enough to approach. Here, they take small mouthfuls of mineral-rich clay from the exposed bank. After only a short visit, the pair returns to the shelter of the canopy. Between journeys, the bond is maintained through quiet, repeated acts of care. Soon, attention shifts from food and travel to a more permanent question. Here, they take small mouthfuls of mineral-rich clay from the exposed bank. Some openings are too shallow, too narrow, or simply unsuitable. Then they reach an older tree, where one dark opening deserves a longer look. The entrance is examined slowly, one grip and one cautious movement at a time. Inside, there is no nest to build, only old wood to clear and a hollow to prepare. The work is simple but precise. Loose debris is moved from the deepest part of the hollow. Each inspection ends the same way, with a return to the branch and another look at the forest around them. They return again and again, testing the site before committing to it. Gradually, this tree becomes the center of the pair's attention. For long periods, the hollow becomes quieter, darker, and more private.
Outside, the partner stays close, watching the forest, while the other bird remains within.
As evening approaches, the hollow is no longer just a possibility. The next stage unfolds mostly beyond view, in the darkness of the tree. In time, 2 white eggs rest on the bare wood at the bottom of the hollow. Incubation begins with patience, measured in long hours of stillness. Even the smallest adjustment helps keep the developing eggs evenly warmed. While one bird remains with the eggs, its partner brings food back to the hollow. The visit is brief. The eggs are left uncovered for as little time as possible. Days pass inside the hollow with little outward change. Rain changes the rhythm outside, but inside the hollow, incubation continues.
When the rain eases, activity returns almost as quietly as it stopped.
Then, after weeks of waiting, a hairline break appears in one shell. Hatching is slow work, broken by long pauses between each effort. The first chick arrives small, blind to the forest, and entirely dependent on its parents. Nearby, the second egg begins the same slow passage into the world. Now there are two, both fragile, both completely dependent on the shelter of this hollow. For now, warmth matters more than almost anything else. The first meals arrive softened, delivered in small amounts to mouths still barely strong enough to beg. Feeding two chicks will turn the forest beyond this tree into a daily route. Finding food is not a single act, but a sequence of searching, testing, and choosing. The same bill that opens hard fruit will soon help turn it into food for the chicks. Each journey ends at the same opening, high on the old trunk. Inside, the return is answered by small voices and urgent, uneven movements. With each return, the chicks grow stronger, and the first signs of feathers begin to emerge. The change is gradual, first pins, then color, then the beginnings of stronger wings. As their voices strengthen, feeding becomes more demanding, and the visits more frequent. The rhythm repeats: leave the hollow, cross the canopy, and search again. Not every fruit is worth taking. Much of feeding begins with choosing what to leave behind. Again, the old trunk appears ahead, the same entrance, and the same waiting chicks. With each meal, the hollow seems smaller around bodies that are changing quickly. Soon, the entrance itself becomes part of their world. For the first time, the space beyond the hollow is examined from the edge. Climbing comes before flying. Bill and feet provide a safer way to test the outside. The wings are ready to work, but leaving the hollow is another decision entirely. For several moments, nothing happens. The distance is short, but for a young bird, it is entirely new. At last, the grip releases, and the first flight carries the youngster across open air. The landing is less graceful. Feet find the branch first, and balance comes a moment later. The second youngster watches from the hollow, repeating the same careful preparation. Soon, the hollow is empty, and both young macaws are outside the tree for the first time. Leaving the nest does not mean leaving the parents. For a time, the family still moves together. The next lessons are quieter: how to hold food, how to open it, and how to try again after losing it. The hollow is behind them now. Ahead lies a forest they will spend years learning to read.